a live stream now, for some reason, it always goes to unlisted. I don't know why, rather than just public like normal. So I think something has changed somewhere, but some setting has changed, but I don't know what has changed. So I'm just seeing what's going on. Okay, so it should be working now. That's crazy that I have to check, but for some reason when I try to go live nowadays, it always shows me as unlisted, so no one knows I'm actually live. Okay, so today is just going to be another writing session. I've been a bit tired in the last few days, and I think it's just the lack of sun and the lack of outdoor activities due to the lack of sun, but and like just general light. It's been very dark and foggy, so I think this is like maybe the January blues people are experiencing. So we'll see about that. But that's how everyone is a bit morose at the moment. A lot of people are keeping to themselves. A lot of people are just sort of staying at home. And I think it's just due to the weather. So I'm just writing at the moment because that's what keeps me sane and happy and stuff. My Korean students, my Korean students bring me so much stuff. They brought me some coffee, and this coffee is great. You can tell it's strong, but it's got a lot of sugar in it though, which I don't normally do, but you can tell it's very strong coffee, and it's just lovely. But I can only have one a day because I'm not into coffee that way. Okay. I still love this. It's just like, ooh, ooh. It just makes me so happy, which is quite sad. I'm just going to continue with writing like I did yesterday. So it's really funny at the moment because I'm finishing a short story, but with the Heathens series that I'm working on, I'm actually typing because I have about 100 pages, so 100 sheets to type, which is about 200 pages because 2 pages on either side. So I have about 100 sheets to type. So I can't keep handwriting this anymore. I just have to try and type what I've written so far. So I'm just working on this short story just as a break from everything. But yeah, I have 100 pages, and that's crazy that I've accumulated 100 pages of writing. So I'm very happy with it because it means the series is going well. I just need to type it all up. Hey, hello, may I ask what the skeleton on the desk means? Or what's it's a candle. That's what it is. It's like for tea light. Yeah, I have it in white and I have it in black. So they're like tea lights. I tried to get it in gold as well, but some people got it before me for Halloween, so yeah. Pretty cool. And I've also got like a pumpkin one. Morning, Fluxing. It's coming along really well. Are you writing anything at the moment? Morning, Kat. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. I'm really good. Okay, Fluxy, I wrote a short story over the last few weeks. It's a story with a troll as the main character. Oh, amazing. I like trolls and ogres. I think they're misunderstood, though. I think they are quite misunderstood. Shrek certainly was. Yeah, Shrek was an ogre. Totally misunderstood and bringing some compassion to the troll's position in the world of men. Oh, interesting. That sounds really good. Yeah, I think they don't get a lot. They're always these ugly, hulking creatures who, you know, are supposed to be terrible because they're ugly, which... Also, the story is set in the current world as we know it, and as if trolls were to live among us, and not necessarily easy to spot. So they live among us, and they've probably adopted some different form. That's interesting. I based it on a homeless person that I've gotten to know when I volunteer at the local shelter. There's so much inspiration and incredible stories when talking with the people in the shelter. I can imagine. But this is what I say, that some of the inspiration you'll get, some of the best inspiration you'll get, and horror stories will be with people who are outside your life, and that's why you have to interact on some level. And I'm not saying that feed off their misery or pain or whatever, or steal their story, but you just use them as inspiration, that's it. Yeah, there's a lot of inspiration out there. This should be titled When a Short Story Becomes a Book. Oh God, what have I done? Okay, not that one. Okay. Ink everywhere. Hi Sean, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Are you doing any writing today? I'm just working on a short story at the moment. It's just like a writing exercise. I'm working on a short story. I do them from time to time. Just as a break from writing the book. I'm writing in my journal. Also, I need to write a letter. Oh, amazing. Letter writing is completely dead now, and it's just nice to see people are still writing letters. Yeah, that's really good. It's always good to get the ideas out on paper, definitely. Actually, on that note, I actually have to... I had an idea when I went out for a walk this morning, and I didn't write it down. Yes, it is. It is dead, but there are people who are still trying to keep it alive, right down to sealing the letters. Well, I'm glad I could help remind you of it. When I had multiple ideas coming, I eventually had to get a small tape recorder to keep track of them. I used to have one of those tape recorders, the dictaphones, and now I use my phones, but I make sure that with my phone, the recorder app is on the first page, so I don't get distracted with scrolling from my phone when I hold it, to record. But yeah, I use my phone now, but I used to have a dictaphone to do all that, and it got so full. I had so many ideas, and I'm still trying to type up all the ideas I had on the dictaphone. Make of that what you will. very good. I had a small number of micro cassette tapes I had ideas on. I like the recording on your phone idea. Yeah, no, I just used the recording on my phone because when I had to when I had to go around with something else to carry, it just got too much. And whilst I think it's a good idea, I think honestly a dictaphone is still the best idea because it doesn't take up space on your phone. But I just stopped when I just started using the recording apps instead. And they do work quite well, but you have to sort of find them. And so it could be better to have a dedicated dictaphone, actually. That could be a lot better. Yeah. Dan, the breaking news man, hi. Could you explain how a ghostwriter works? Does one give the ideas to the writer and they write for you? I don't know much about ghostwriters. I know that they're used a lot and they get a percentage of the commission or whatever, the fee. But they essentially write. Basically, if I wanted to use a ghostwriter, I wouldn't write the story. I would give the idea to another writer and they would write the story for me. I'm not sure why ghostwriting is a thing. I don't agree with it. And if you look at series like Nancy Drew series, that sort of thing, I don't know if anyone remembers Nancy Drew. Caroline Keene, she didn't actually exist. It was all different writers writing the stories under one author name, and she didn't exist. But and then all the money was going to a company. So I didn't agree with it really because I thought Nancy Drew was a brilliant series, and obviously the people who wrote her should have gotten the acclaim for it, but they didn't. I thought it was, and I think Hardy Boys was probably the same thing. I don't know much about who wrote the Hardy Boys, but that's how ghostwriting works. But I don't like the idea of ghostwriting. I think if you're going to write the work, your name needs to be on the book. Sadly, the microtape recorder seems to have died out. They have digital recorders now. I don't know what a digital recording. I don't know what a digital recorder is. Interesting. Digital voice recorder. Oh yeah, they have digital voice recorders now. Oh, they're a lot more. Well, actually, they don't have much capacity though. 128 gigabytes. Yeah, mine was mine was like a digital one, but not as advanced as these. But it was very, very good. And actually, it makes me wonder if I should get one again. Okay. There are lots of reasons for ghostwriters. I've even heard of established writers who later used one when they were having difficulties fulfilling their contracts. Ah, okay, so I guess they're important in that respect. Yeah, if you're having difficulty fulfilling your contract, that's a troublesome spot to be in. Solid state memory can hold a lot more in a smaller package. Yeah, I just use yeah, for me 128 gigabytes is not much in terms of, because even with my last phone was I think 200 of, no, my last phone had a memory of 128, and that, by the time I'd put my writing on it, it was bursting at the seams. So I just stopped using my phones for heavy recording and heavy writing, and I just started. I'd record short snippets and I'd transfer it quickly. But I have 128 gigabytes of voice recordings to transfer. Have you ever used another name or plan to for other book genres? Like Stephen King uses a different name on some of his stories. No, I mean, I write dark academia and I write fantasy, and my fantasy is under my name, but I'm going to start putting dark academia under a pen name. That's the plan. Yeah, but that's it for the two different genres, but they'll all be on the same website, but it'll just be two different. I'm not sure why, but it's just so, because I think some of the people who buy the books, they actually just want the dark academia, or some just want the fantasy, and I don't want anyone buying one book by mistake. And some readers will just instinctively buy a book if they see a name on it. So I just to avoid that confusion. I hope anyone who is in California at the moment, by the way, is all right in terms of what's going on there with the fire situation. That looked really, really bad, especially since it was out of control. So I hope everyone is all right. You might also see if there's a lower sound quality setting to record in. If you're just voice recording ideas or prose, high quality that takes up space may not be necessary. I think so. I think I always recorded it in, it was probably of a higher, I never checked the quality, but it just took up so much space. So yeah, it was probably the quality settings as well. And I just probably didn't check that. Readers should check out which book they are buying and not just buy it blindly. No, I've had people buy. I've had people buy, because obviously, Coates was the first series I put out, and it's a fantasy. And then as soon as people read, The Dwellers, and then as soon as people read this entire series, they instantly went and bought that. But this is a completely different genre, and I can see why the confusion would come about. But they wanted something similar to this, but Coates is a completely different genre to The Dwellers, and it caused so I had to sort of highlight that. Look, it's dark academia. Read the blurb. But a lot of people, sometimes they go on a book buying spree and they don't really read anything, which is fine. Yeah, exactly. Some readers have an expectation, so and I just put my name, then same name across the board. And even though because what I understood was the book cover will determine if it's a fantasy or not. So I see some and I think, oh, that's a fantasy, and I see others, I think that's not a fantasy, or that's a romance, or that's a sci-fi. But quite a few people blindly bought Coates, and they weren't very happy because it's just dark academia. It's boarding school, preppy, fast-paced drama, like Gossip Girl, but with a bit more reality to it. America just had TikTok shut off on their electronics tonight. It's banned now in America. Yeah, I've heard about this going on. I don't use TikTok much anymore because I found and I know that so many people launch their careers off TikTok, and I think that's amazing. But for me, whenever I logged on, I found it very noisy and it gave me a headache. It was just very chaotic. And sometimes I'd see content I didn't want to see because TikTok would try to push content onto you that you didn't want to see. And because I was in, book talk as well, there was a lot of drama going on. People, this author said this reader said that, this author. And I think the last time I was on and I logged on, there was an author ranting about a review, and I just logged off and I just didn't go back on again. So I don't really use TikTok much, but it is unfortunate that that's happened because I think so many people have launched their careers off it. But I think the app needed a lot more regulation. But I think Instagram is going the same way because they're removing a lot of controls, like fact checking or whatever. And I think Instagram is going to become, if they don't rein it in, it's going to become a very messy place as well. So, and people don't want that. People go on social media really to escape, I think, for an immersive experience or to bond with people. And I think the more drama there is, the more likely it is to shut people off. Or, yeah. And that's just my opinion anyway. But whenever I logged on TikTok, it was just always a new chaotic scene in the book talk sphere, and there was so much arguing, and it was very bitchy, and it's just a bit boring to me. So. I think YouTube is a place that it has fairly good checks and balances, and it's healthier, I think, for people at large, and there's just more control. And I know people don't like that; they want to say whatever they want to say. But TikTok, there's just like, if you want to talk about whatever, you can have your own little niche and do it. And if you want to go around kicking horses, you can go around kicking horses. I mean, you'll get banned eventually for animal cruelty, but there's all that control. With TikTok, it was just like, for me, it was just it was too wild and too unhinged. So, yeah. Well, I know a lot of authors who launched their careers off it, and it's just sad to see it go. But I think they were very good at getting through all the mess that was there, but I just got a headache constantly. Yeah, if you want drama, you can just write it. Exactly. I think that, unfortunately, TikTok, because I know I don't know many people who have TikTok. I don't know, and these are people across the board and of all various ages. I don't know many people who have it, but it seems to attract quite a huge following. And my account is still there, but I just don't use it. I just don't use it. So, and I think it's a good idea of getting like eyes on your page or whatever, but in terms of just the content and the just the quality and the atmosphere there, it was just too combative for me. It's very strange. Yeah, I did for a while, and I uninstalled it off my phone, yeah. Yeah, so, but there'll be another, there's always other social media thingies coming up, but I think for the moment, YouTube is the strongest and just the most stable platform, and just there are more controls on YouTube as well. But hopefully there'll be a lot more competition in coming years. So at the moment, the competition is not too great. Yes. I had a student buy this for me. Sorry, I tell everyone about this. She bought these, and she bought them separately because she'd seen I like writing, and you just pop that in there. And they just fit perfectly. And she bought them both separately, and she realised that they fit perfectly, so she was very, very happy. But I like it because although it goes in, it doesn't hit the... Oh, it might hit the base, actually. I don't know. I don't know how deep. I don't know how deep that is. Yeah, it might just hit the thingy, but I love it. I absolutely adore it. It's just, but she got it for me as a Christmas present. Well, I got it just after Christmas, but yeah. Yeah, I know, I do have to be careful, because I can't really put these in there, because, that's been damaged, so that's gone. But yeah, I absolutely love it. It's lovely. It's such a nice gift. She said she's going to get me a darker colour, because she didn't realise this was going to be so green. But yeah, it was a really nice gesture. I just got, I don't know, it's not branded, but I ordered it online. I think it might be from China or Japan. But that works pretty well with this, so which is interesting, but this new brand of ink does not work so well with the more traditional nibs, so it's a lot thicker, but it works amazingly with this. But I've got lots more ink to come, so I'm very, very excited about that. As you know, a lot of my ink got stuck or went missing for some odd reason. And I was inkless for a while. But I did get these pens, and they write really well. They're very cheap, but they just write so well. And I mean, these writing... Yeah. These writing prompts, I don't know if you can see them. They were all written with that pen. So it's very light and very fine, but I absolutely adore it. And it has the same quality as the Pilot pens. Yeah, I think I've got calligraphy ink. And then what I normally order here or order online would be, from Amazon, would be dip pen ink. So I think there is a difference because this is a lot thicker and it's going very quickly as well. So because this is a lot gloopier and it applies very heavily, so you have to be careful. But yeah, I love it all. I love all the ink. But these pens are really good as well because the writing is so fine. It's just, I mean, it's just beautiful. And it's so fine, it's so light. But it has really good coverage. Dip pen ink is water soluble. Bye, cat. See you tomorrow. Bye. Ah, I see. Okay. I don't really know the differences. I just see ink and I buy it. So the story I've been working on, that's gone quite well. But it's now up to 18 pages long. And it's supposed to be a short story, so it's getting a lot longer than I anticipated. But I'm hoping I can rein it in at some point and just... Okay. Alright, everybody, I'm going to go now. I'm going to make some coffee, walk my dogs. Hopefully the sun comes out today, but I think it's going to be another cloudy day. So, and I'll see everyone on the live stream tomorrow. On a different kind. Some are dye-based, others pigment. Pigments can clog the feeds of some fountain pens. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know what type this is, but it's just a lot thicker. It is a lot thicker. Oh, 11 p.m. Alright. I'll see you all tomorrow. Yeah, I don't use fountain pens anyway. I don't use fountain pens. India ink, I have to Google that. I don't use fountain pens. Okay, guys. See you tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. I think everyone's here is like an American time at the moment. Have a lovely evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.